humans, Homo sapiens, evolved, but they didn't start civilizations right away. There's a long period of time when they did not form these complex societies. So how did we, let's say 300,000 years ago in Africa, actually go from there to creating civilizations?
I think that a lot of human evolution had to do with the pressures that their environment put upon them. And a lot of things start changing right around 12,000 years ago. And that's when, our last ice age really ended. I think there was a whole lot of things that just pressured them into especially finding new ways of subsistence. Here in the Americas, a huge thing that happened was all the megafauna went away. When the climate changed enough, the mammoths died out and the bison died out, and there was just they had to come up with different ways of doing things. We were hunters and gatherers, and we had things we got from hunting and we got things we got from gathering. And in the Americas, when the things that they were used to hunting went away and they had to make do with rabbits, the gathering started to be a much more important thing. And I think that led to figuring out, hey, we could actually grow certain things, and gardens turned into crops, turned into intensive crops, and then people were allowed to gather in bigger groups and survive in a single area. They didn't have to roam around anymore. And that's where we get the first sedentary communities, which means they stayed in the same place all year long. For the vast majority of human existence, we've been nomadic, and we've done these kind of wider or tighter nomadic circles, depending on the geographic region, where they'd know, okay, in the mountains, we'll be in the summer in the mountains because there's berries and things, and then in the winter we'll be down here and we'll hunt. But they'd move. So once humans figured out how to stay in a place, I think that's the initial trigger to what would become civilization.
What do you think is, there's a lot of questions I want to ask here. What do you think is the motivation for societies? Is it the carrot or the stick? So you said, is it like when resources run out, when the old way of life is no longer feeding everybody, then you have to figure stuff out? Or is it more the carrot of there's always this kind of human spirit that wants to explore, that wants to maybe impress the rest of the village or something like this with the new discovery they made and venturing out and coming out with different ideas, or technological innovation, let's call it?
Well, I have an explorer's heart, so I'm kind of I'm biased.
Right.
I do think that we have an innate desire to see what's on the horizon.
Yeah.
And to impress other people with our achievements, things like that. We're social beings.
Mhm.
That's really the edge that humans have, is our ability to work together. So I think that it's much more the carrot than the stick. When things get ugly, the stick comes out, but usually the carrot does the job.